Hello YouTube, it is March the 19th, Thursday, and I'm just pumping water, rainwater out of these water butts off the sheds up to the garden so that I've got a fresh supply of rainwater for when it does dry up eventually. And that is being pumped up all the way up to those tubs up there, the orange ones. And I'll just give you a quick look around the plot as I'm getting ready for spring and just having a bit of a tidy up there. And that is the other end of the water out of that water butt, slowly filling up. And these up here are a godsend. It saves me having to carry water from down from the house. And all these up this end now are now full, and there's just those two to go. And I've got these two here which are virtually empty. The one has nettle tea in it and the other one has comfrey in it. So I see the comfrey is just starting to grow, and also the nettles, which I collect out of the hen pens until they start to go to seed. The weekend was busy. I didn't get round to taking my broad beans out, but as you can see now, that one bed is empty, and I had 1.5 wheelbarrow fulls of green compost to go on the compost heap out of them. And I'm just starting on the second bed there, and I'll just show you those nodules. There are the nitrogen nodules, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to leave those in the ground. That's one I just pulled up without putting my fingers around it to strip the roots. But you can see there's a lot of nodules there, and that should release all nitrogen back into the ground for my brassicas. And if you can think back to last year, I had my potato tubs on these two beds, and the weight of the potato tubs should have compacted the ground enough, because this is where the brassicas will go. So brassicas do like good hard ground to go on. I did mention in my last video also about mushroom compost, and somebody picked up on what I said, and you can see the difference in the colour. That's farmyard manure, and that is the mushroom compost. There's nothing wrong with mushroom compost, it's just the recipe that the supplier makes of it, and for me this had too much wood chip in it. This is the year before mushroom compost, and as you can see, it's made real good soil and it will hold the moisture well. So I didn't want to put anybody off by saying that mushroom compost was no good. You can see the nodules there off one of the roots. But it is good. It's just that the supplier that I got this off, for me, there is way too much wood chip in it. So that was, I just wanted to put that straight for anybody. I didn't want to put them off buying mushroom compost, because it is a good compost. It doesn't have quite as much nitrogen in as farmyard manure, which sometimes some people want. Still digging these beds out. This compost will go for my mixed in for my potato tubs. They had me carrots in last year and parsnips, so I shall recycle that, and then next year it'll go back to probably carrots and parsnips again. Broad beans are definitely starting to get some height about them now, and they're looking well. Looking forward to a crop off that. It's always the first, what I call the first spring crop really. And here I have shallots. They didn't look very well to begin with, but they're starting to pick up a little bit now. And next to those I've got overwintering onions. They were the same. I wasn't overstruck on them, but they seem to be coming on okay now. The stems are thickening up a bit. So my first time of growing these. Whether they'll be in the ground again next year, it depends on what the harvest is on those. Garlic's coming on. The tips on the leaves do go brown like that, so I don't think that's anything to worry about. And then the elephant garlic is following up behind, and there's some good stems on those. They're looking quite well. There is some walking onions. I need to get those in. They produce bulbs on top of the, instead of seeds, and then with the weight they fold down and touch the ground and then set off again. So that's why they call them walking onions. 2 tubs of Jerusalem artichokes. Way too early to see any sign of anything coming through there. These are what's left of the parsnips. They will go for soup. I need the bed. They're not too bad. They'll make a nice soup. The foliage on them looks very good, and the last of the celeriac will be coming out as well. Get some more compost on there for something else to go in. These are the bulbs off the bottom of the elephant garlic, and I see there's another one coming through there. They should produce just whole bulbs, which I can plant up next year, and they should divide up then into cloves of elephant garlic. There's 2 of those. That's the water tank that the carrot tank is going to go on. I'm going to put a metal rod through the centre of that because it'll be carrying quite a bit of weight. And this is the golden beetroot. They didn't grow as well as the red beetroot throughout the winter, so they'll be coming out, but there will be some feed there for us. And I've been taking up the hoops off the brassica beds, ready to go onto the beds where the broad beans were, over there. There's not too much going on. It's pretty much ready for spring. There's that overwintering sweet pea, and I'm quite pleased with that. If I can plant around that, I'll leave that in if I can and just see how it goes, but I'm definitely thinking of doing some planting them straight out in the back end at the end of this season. These are cauliflower. I thought I would have had some feed off these so far, but I think I sprayed them too much neem oil, so they struggled a bit. But they will come. They'll be a bit late, but they will come, probably all together. And purple sprouting. That's looking quite well. Had a good feed off that one, and there's still enough for another feed off there. And some more cauliflower there. And these cabbage, all bar one, which is starting to split, are all going to seed. And I have a Savoy one there, which is will give us a couple of feeds, but the others there are going to seed as well. And so are the curly kale. So it's time to start thinning a few things out. I did a plan last night on where everything is going to go in the garden, so I need to start getting my structures up. If you can get them up now, it certainly saves time later on. I've still got my strawberries to come out, a couple of beds which I'm not keeping, and I've got some up there in trays ready to go in. The ones I planted last about a fortnight ago, 10 days ago, you can see that they're starting to come on now. These are the earlier ones, and you can see the new growth, even with the colder weather that we're having still. Bit of a frost this morning and yesterday, and it was quite cold at the weekend as well. So they're a hardy plant, the strawberry, as you can see. So just a quick update to let you know how things are going on, and also for myself for a record. Hope you're all keeping well, stay safe in this current climate, and keep an eye on your neighbours, and let's work together and get through this sticky patch that the whole world's going through at the moment. Many thanks for watching. Take good care, everybody. Bye bye.